What is good, gang? It's your boy Mel, aka Naldo Formula One, and you are now tuned into the Naldo F1 podcast. And guys, it is the preview episode for the 2026 F1 championship season. It's upon us. It's time. We're here. We made it, y'all. This offseason has been so long. Don't get me wrong. I had football. I had some basketball. College basketball has been great, but we're back. You know why we're here, bro. We're here to cover the pinnacle of motorsport. So before we get into the season preview, man, go ahead and just pause the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, like the video, leave me a comment at the end, let me know what your thoughts are, what you're looking forward to this season, what you're not excited about this season, just all the things, you know. Just let's do this thing. Let's run the numbers up, baby. Let's go. And the F1 season is here. It's race week. I'm so happy to be saying that. Finally, good Lord. I feel like we've been just starving, but hungry as hell for Formula One. And I'm really looking forward to this season, man. The last couple of seasons, my passion has kind of wavered a little bit, but you know, I've been working on my resolve. I watched some anime. You know, the anime be getting you pumped up. Be testing your resolve and your willpower. And I'm back, baby. Like, call me a delusional Ferrari fan, whatever. It don't matter. We back. It's time. I'm in the weird. You guys have seen the meme. I'll put it up here, but you guys have seen the meme of the Ferrari cycle. I'm in the we're so back phase, like 100%. I'm locked in. I'm the Lulu for Lulu, baby. We here. But anyways, man, it's 2026, man. We've been waiting on these new regs for a while, and they're finally here. We're finally going to get a chance to see what slightly smaller, a little bit lighter cars, 50-50 hybrid powertrain cars are going to look and feel like, and what the racing is going to be like. Honestly, it's a bit of a mixed bag for me. I really don't know how to feel about the cars necessarily just yet. I'm extremely scared that the racing is going to be a little bit too artificial. And what I mean by that is it's just going to be a bunch of battery management, and it's not going to be pure racing. I mean, we've seen some of the more veteran drivers kind of come out and express their disappointment with how the cars feel and what their thoughts are, and they're thinking that maybe the cars are just going to be a little bit too, you know, lacking soul basically, and kind of missing the essence of what racing is and what it should be, which is may the better man win and may the better car win. And I just don't know if we're going to get a whole lot of that this season. With that being said, I still appreciate the effort to move in a better direction with the sizing of the cars being smaller and lighter. Hopefully that makes for better wheel-to-wheel racing. We'll just have to see with these new 50-50 power trains. And what I mean by the 50-50, if you're not familiar, or if this is your first season watching F1, if it is your first season, welcome. Happy to have you guys here. And I'm a very welcoming F1 fan. I'm not one of the pretentious kind of like know-it-all fans. I'm still learning every single day. And so we're just going to do this journey together. But anyways, back to what I was saying before. The 50-50 powertrains, before, it's the same 1.6 liter V6 hybrid engines with a battery hybrid assist. But what's new in F1 is that these powertrains were closer to about 70-30, 80-20, with most of that power coming from the actual combustion engine. With these new regs, it's 50-50. So 50% of the power is going to come from the combustion engine, and the other 50% is going to come from the electric motor. There's going to be a couple new drive modes as far as like overtaking and stuff like that. DRS is out. RIP to DRS. I know that was a big love-hate point for a lot of F1 fans. I personally didn't mind it necessarily when it was applied properly with the proper distancing and all of that good stuff, but I can see why a lot of F1 fans wanted it gone, but it really isn't gone if we really think about it because of the new active aero systems. It's actually, we kind of got a dual dose of DRS. The only difference is that it kind of applies across the track at all points instead of just in certain sectors on certain straights. So when the cars are at speed, the front wings will kind of open. You'll see the flaps kind of open like this, and then they'll close as they start to brake and create downforce. So they open to create less drag, and then they'll close to give you more grip in the corners. And the same thing is happening on the rear wing as well. So it's basically a form of DRS. We saw that with the funky Ferrari wing that they tested out that flipped all the way upside down, which I don't think that they're going to run at any point in the season. I think they were just kind of sprinkling some sauce on it. If I could be frank about it, I think that they were just trying to throw other teams off. It just doesn't seem like the most efficient way to do that, but hey, what do I know? I'm not an aerospace engineer. But anyways, these new regs should be pretty cool. I'm trying to be as positive as possible just because I really don't want it to be a battle of battery management with the way that they're deploying. We saw with some of the testing in Bahrain that a lot of the teams seem to be running out of battery down the straight, and they were clipping speed down the straight. And so maybe, I think at one point Lewis was testing in the Ferrari and on the straight, which Bahrain has a pretty long straight, not the longest of the calendar by far. I think that's China. China's back straight, I believe, is the longest straight on the calendar. I guess if you're not considering like the minimal turns at like Saudi or no, Vegas. Actually, I think Vegas might be longer than China. So, good Lord, who knows what that'll look like. But hopefully the teams figure out before we get to Vegas. I think that. Oh, but let me finish my point with Lewis. At one point, I think he reached like 321 kph, and by the end of the straight, he had run out of battery and he was down to like 308 kph. So I'm just worried that it might be a battle of battery management. And that's going to be the championship fight, and that's going to be the wheel-to-wheel racing. Is you're just going to see guys run out of battery while they're defending at the end of the straight, and the guy's just going to shoot right by, just like how we saw with the DRS passes. So I'm not super thrilled about that, but we'll just have to kind of play it by ear and wait and see. But I'm trying to go into it being optimistic instead of so like cup half empty that I can normally be at times. The other thing about these new regulations is that we're moving further away from the ground effect era of 2022 through 2025. We're going back to more of the flat floors, so the barge boards, which are kind of on the front half of the chassis itself. The wings are going to create more of the downforce as opposed to the floor, where the ground effect meant you had to run the car really low to the ground, and it created like this suction effect, and that's what gave you the grip and the downforce. And now the floors will be more flat, not completely, but they'll be more flat than they have been in the past couple of years. So that's something new to F1 going into 2026. From the previous regulations, not overall. We had that before with the original turbo hybrid era regulations, and even prior to that too. Another thing to really look out for is going to be reliability. A lot of newer fans aren't going to remember these days, but cars, we didn't normally used to have 20 drivers finishing races on a regular basis, and that's going to be something that's going to shock a lot of people. Your favorite driver is probably going to have a mechanical DNF or two this season. These are brand new powertrains, and there's only a limited amount of research that can go into them, and limited amount of testing that can go into them. A lot of these cars and engines have not been run at race pace for the extended amounts of time that they're going to have to be run during the actual season itself. So there's going to be some DNFs. There's going to be some failures. It's going to break some hearts. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you that way, but there's a strong likelihood that at some point during the season, it'll probably be at a critical moment, your favorite driver is not going to finish the race due to no fault of his own. And that's just kind of how it used to be. Like, I remember the 2017, 2018 Red Bull days where they would have these competitive cars when they would come into these race weekends, and then Max or Daniel might be leading the race or in a position to get a podium finish and just wouldn't finish. Just the engine would fail. Those old Renault engines weren't the best, which is why they ended up moving to Honda. And yeah, it's just, it's just something that to prepare yourself for mentally. There's probably going to be a lot of that. I know we've heard rumblings of it throughout testing, but yeah, just strap yourself in and be prepared for a pretty chaotic season. New regs always bring chaos, and this is probably the largest regulation switch that a lot of us have seen, a lot of us younger F1 fans have seen. And so just be prepared for that. We got 2 new teams, one true new team and one kind of a glorified rebrand. So there's 11 teams on the grid now instead of 10. I'm excited about that. I'm looking forward to see how these teams progress and build, because they're 2 big brand names. The first one being Cadillac. That's our true brand new Formula One team. So our 11 team on the grid is Cadillac Formula One team. Cadillac has a storied history in racing, if you're not familiar with them, in endurance racing and GT racing and that sort of thing. They're no newbies to racing, and they have a strong pedigree and a strong heritage. Now, they are new to Formula One, and Formula One is a completely different monster, which is why I say, if you are a Cadillac fan, just curb your expectations a little bit, just a smidge, because it's probably going to be a struggle, at least for the first couple of years. Hopefully, I don't think GM would be doing this if they weren't in it to win, and I think that they understand the fact that this is probably going to take some time to really get right. But I think that they're in it for the long haul. I mean, the branding, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss on the branding for Cadillac. The car is beautiful. I love the black and white scheme. I love that when you look at it from one side, the car looks white, and then you look at it from the other side, the car looks black. It's wonderful. I wish they would have went with the gold. That was my preference. I love the gold cars that they ran in like endurance racing, and some of the concepts that I saw were just absolutely crazy. But concept liveries are always crazy, and the real teams never kind of live up, because a lot of times they have sponsor obligations and that sort of thing. But good job, Cadillac, on the branding. I love the black and white. It's going to be different. It's going to look great under the lights at nighttime races, which are my personal favorite. I love a good nighttime race. And yeah, I think they did a really good job at going with experience, with building their driver lineup, going with Checo and Valtteri, 2 proven race winners, and 2 extremely experienced drivers and championship level drivers who have seen what it looks like to run and be a part of a championship team. So I think that was a really smart move on their part, and having Colton Herta as a reserve driver and kind of building him up through their own sort of academy and teaching him the ropes and basically building him up and grooming him for the future to be the future of Cadillac Formula One. I think that experience will help them a lot with building this foundation, because don't get it twisted, they are building a foundation. So it is going to be probably a bit of a struggle this season. So just, curb your expectations just a bit with Cadillac. Let's move on to Audi. Audi, you're probably going to see a slight improvement from last year with them being Kick Sauber, but they're kind of moving in like more of a turnkey route. So they're kind of taking over what Kick Sauber used to be and just slapping their name on it. Now, the contrast of what I just said about Cadillac, I absolutely loathe Audi's branding. I think that car is hideous. It looks incomplete. Like, all of their branding just looks off. Like, it just, I don't know. It looks like some shit that you would do on like the F1 game, where you can't, when you start like my F1 team and you don't have enough sponsors yet. That's what it looks like. And it just, they didn't look great in testing. I'll get into that a little bit later when I start kind of breaking down the teams one by one and giving my predictions and that sort of thing. But let's just say that my expectations are not high for Audi whatsoever, not this season. Maybe moving forward, the Volkswagen Group and Audi Sport will pump some more money and resources into actually being good. But if you were looking for me to be excited about Audi, I'm not. I don't think we're going to see much of them on the TV broadcast at all. And yeah, that's that's what I got to say pretty much about that. That's enough with Audi. The one thing that I am excited about for this coming F1 season is I think that there will be pretty close battles at the top. And I think that we're going to get a pretty strong title fight. Now, I don't know on a race-to-race base how close that they're going to be, because we kind of saw that last year, right? With Norris and Piastri and Max kind of fighting through the entire season, most of it being Norris and Piastri, and then Max kind of came along towards the end of the season when McLaren started fucking up. But I think that we're going to get a pretty close title fight. New regs always kind of sparks this excitement because everybody has a chance, right? It's like everybody starting from ground zero, and I think that we're going to get a pretty close title fight. That's all I'll say for now until we get into my preview. Yeah, I mean, we got some really great drivers, some teams that were improving, maybe looking to build on what they kind of set up last year. And I think it's just going to be a really close battle. I just don't know how close the races are going to be on an individual basis because we just don't know. It's going to be a lot of mix of driver and car. And so with that being said, let's actually get into my season preview and season predictions, and then we'll reflect on this at the end of the season, and you guys can just let me know and crush me for like how wrong I was in my predictions. But anyway, like none of us really know shit, right? Like we're all just yapping at this point. But we'll do my Naldo rankings. We'll just call it like this whole umbrella, the Naldo rankings. And we'll start with my team predictions and where I kind of see my power rankings. This is not necessarily how I think that the teams will finish in the Constructors' Championship, but this is my overall kind of prediction of who I think is going to have the strongest car throughout the season on average. And obviously different circuits are going to favor different teams, but this is just kind of an overall scope of what I think. So number one, actually, you know what? I'll start from 10. I'll start from 10. Let's build up a little anticipation. Why am I saying 10? It's 11. God, it's going to take me a minute to get used to having 11 teams on the grid now. 22 drivers. That's just going to feel weird. Like, it's going to feel like the F1 game. If you've ever played the F1 game and did my team, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But this number 11 should come at no shock to anyone. I got Aston Martin, dude. I'm sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. But everybody knows it. They're not even ready to start the season. There's an article that came out this morning that they're going to run minimal laps in testing, just the bare minimum to actually be able to qualify for the GP. Excuse me. And the actual GP itself, they're just going to do the formation lap and go back into the pits because they don't have any spare parts, which is crazy. And they've been having reliability issues all preseason, and this is absolutely bonkers to me. I cannot fathom how a team with this much resource and a name as big and as historic as Aston Martin is, I just can't see how you're just not ready to start the season. Even peak disaster class Williams, I tweeted this earlier, peak disaster class Williams, 2018, 2019 Williams, when they were just struggling for cash, they never were this bad. The situation was never this dire with them. I can't even, this is an absolute shit show. But you know what? This is karmic retribution for Lawrence Stroll, because you in them files, big dog. We saw you. You and your wife are in them files, bro. You know exactly what files I'm talking about. I'm not going to say any more about that, but that's what this is, man. This is payback, and this is karmic retribution for you being in them files, big dog. It's so over for Aston Martin. And then Honda just came in and just slammed the proverbial nail in Fernando Alonso's coffin. I don't know what Honda's beef is with Fernando Alonso, but their beef is it's like the chicken from Family Guy and Peter. It's just like an on-site beef. Honda just had to come back just to ruin the end of Fernando Alonso's career, and I'm not mad about it. I am not mad about it whatsoever. Fernando Alonso, we rolling up the backwood, dog. It's almost your time, man. We gonna get the brooms out, push him along on his way, bro. He's done. Wrap it up. Finito. All right, that's enough about Aston. Number 10, Audi. No, that's it. There's nothing. I don't have anything really special to say about Audi. I don't love their driver lineup. I respect their driver lineup. I think Hülkenberg's a solid driver. I was really happy to see him get his podium finally last year, even if it came at Lewis's expense in Great Britain. But, you know, it's okay. We'll get our get back. So don't worry about it. I just think that Audi's just not a well-run team. Like, I like Jonathan Wheatley. Seems like a nice enough guy from what I saw on Drive to Survive and stuff like that. Which, speaking of that, I don't know how he lasted at Red Bull whatsoever on Drive to Survive with his personality versus like Christian Horner and Helmut Marko. But that's a different story for a different day. I'll do a separate video on Drive to Survive. I'm finishing it up tonight. Number 9, I got Cadillac. Like I said, curb your expectations. Formula One's really hard. I think they have a solid driver lineup. I think they'll have flashes of greatness, but I don't think that they're going to be all that good. Number 8, I got Alpine, which I think is probably the worst run team in Formula One. I don't even say probably. I'm pretty firm that I think that Alpine is the worst run team in Formula One. Flavio's a fucking weirdo. Like, I don't rock with him at all. Like, if this burns any future relationship that I might have with Alpine, if this channel ever blows up, then so be it, because Flavio sucks, man. And I think they know he sucks too. Like, the way he talks to people, the way he does business, like, this ain't the fucking 70s anymore, dog. You can't get that shit off. Like, that's it. Haas, I think Haas is unfortunate because I want to like them, but I just don't think they have it. Like, I don't think their driver lineup is special enough. I've never been a huge Ocon fan, and Behrman is just, man, to me, he's just non-existent, really. So I got Haas at 7. V-Carb, I got at 6. I think they're really solid. They showed a lot of promise last year. Now, their driver lineup is not as strong as it was last year with Hajar and Yuki. I think they've gotten significantly worse this year, but, you know, it is what it is. Like, I'm sorry, did I say Yuki? I meant Yuki moved up to Red Bull, but it was Yuki for the first 2 races, and then they switched to Liam. But Hajar showed flashes, which is what got him to the big F1 team this season, which, hey, RIP, like, your career is done too. That second Red Bull seat is cooked, and you'll see. I'll get it more into that here in a second. Number 5, I got Williams. I like what Williams is building. I like James Vowles. He has a technical background. He's a good guy. I really like Alex Albon. I respect Carlos Sainz's talent. I'm not a huge fan of his, but I respect the talent nonetheless. And they showed a lot of flashes throughout last season, and I think that they're building in the right direction. And so I think Williams is going to finish 5th. I think this is going to be a really good season, kind of leading that midfield pack. So good, solid finish for Williams, and who knows what could happen in the future if they get solid investment in that program. But I like the foundation that they're laying. Number 4, I got Red Bull. Red Bull, I think it's going to be right here because I think they're going to be running one-legged like they have been running one-legged for the last, 5 years. That's as simple as that. Like, I love Hajar. I want him to do great, and I hope that he proves me wrong. If by the off chance that you see this, Isaac, just know this is not about your talent. Like, I rock with you. You're my dude. You grew up a Lewis fan. Like, I rock with you just off the muscle of that alone. But yeah, I just think that second Red Bull seat is cursed. I don't know what bad juju Daniel Ricciardo sprinkled on that second Red Bull seat, but it's over. Like, that seat is cooked, man. If my advice, Isaac, get your ass out of there as soon as possible. If there's a top seat that opens up, dip out. Number 3, I got McLaren. For no other reason than I'm a hater. Like, it's as simple as that. I don't really like McLaren. I respect that you got a double championship last year. You won your constructor championship 2 years back to back. I think the other teams have just. I think McLaren has a stronger driver lineup than one of the other teams, but I just think that with the new regs, it could be completely different. With that being said, number 2, I got Ferrari. This might be me being a little delulu for Lulu. I mean, Lewis and Charles are literally my first and second favorite drivers on the grid, respectively. Shout out to Charles, by the way. Congratulations on the wedding. Everything looked beautiful. I'm so jealous that he got to drive that 250 Testarossa. Like, that thing is beautiful. My whole time I was watching that video, all I was thinking was, good Lord, I hope, like, imagine if he crashed that car. Like, I know Charles would be having it like that. I know he really having it like that, but I don't know, $50 million, that's a hefty price tag. But anyways, photos look beautiful. That looked like the picture perfect Ferrari driver wedding. Like, you just couldn't. If you went on a Pinterest board and plugged it into AI and said, give me Ferrari golden boy wedding, like, that's what it looks like. So shout out to Charles for that. I think that this is going to be a big bounce back season for Ferrari. I think they're going to be really strong. Some of what we saw at testing and some of their innovations with their car design and stuff like that just have a lot of promise, and I think that it's going to be really good. And I think that they have the strongest driver pairing on the grid. I think that Lewis finally has, like he said, he has his DNA on this car, and so hopefully that means that he'll adjust to it a lot better and that he'll have a much better time and a much more fun time driving this car than last year's car. And Charles is just one of the best drivers on the grid. I think he's the fastest driver just on pure pace. And I think that with this experience that he has, I think this is his. He came in 2018, so this is 8th or 9th season in F1, and so he's a vet now. And I think he's going to put it all together, and you'll see when I get to talking about the drivers why I think that. But number 1 on the Naldo power rankings, I got Mercedes. They've been leading the charge with the power unit rumors and stuff like that, so I just think that. And they have a really strong driver unit, and I think that it'll come to fruition. I just like the way that they do business. I've always respected Toto. Some of the things that I saw from him this season of Drive to Survive made me respect him even more, and I respect their driver lineup, and I know Kimi's going to come around. His talent is going to show this season. With that being said, my World Constructors Championship team is going to be Ferrari. I think that the driver lineup is going to show through. Even though they might not have the best car on a week-to-week basis, I think that driver pairing is going to be really strong. And don't let the standings and the points and the qualifying results fool you from last year. Lewis and Charles were a lot closer than a lot of people think. If you look at their average splits on qualifying pace, they're not really that far away. And when you average that out over the course of an entire race, that can lead to different results. And obviously, don't get me wrong, there were some horrible weekends from Lewis and Charles, by the way, but they were a lot closer than the stats may look like on paper. But anyways, yeah, World Drivers Championship, Ferrari, or World Constructors Championship, Ferrari, World Drivers Championship. I got Charles Leclerc. Call me the delusional Ferrari fan. I'm not too delusional because I didn't say Lewis, but I'm going with Charles. I think that is going to be an extremely close battle with him and George. I think it's going to come down to probably the final 2 or 3 races in the season, but I think that Charles's pure speed, his aggression and wheel-to-wheel combat, I think he's the perfect mix of aggression and clean wheel-to-wheel racing. It's like watching poetry, watching him drive in wheel-to-wheel racing. I just think that he finally puts it all together. I think he learned from some of his mistakes in the 2022 season at the beginning when they looked like championship contenders and he looked like the favorite. But yeah, I think Charles does it this year. I think he puts it all together, and I'm hoping that I jinx it because I'm known to not be the greatest of luck. So I'm hoping that I jinx it and it's actually Lewis. But I wouldn't be mad if Charles got his first one this season. I think that would be all good. Anyways, my most improved driver, my MID of the season is going to be Kimi Antonelli. I think he had a very up and down season. I mean, the kid was 17, 18 years old, and lofty expectations. You going into a top team to start your career. You didn't get any kind of preview. You skip F3, go straight to F2. Had an okay season in F2. I think he was like 6th in the F2 championship, and gets thrown right into none other than Lewis Hamilton's seat. Like that, the amount of pressure that he was under, I just couldn't even fathom it. But the talent is there, and I'm usually a big believer in talent. And I think Mercedes is going to give him a car that he feels comfortable with, and that he's going to finally get himself settled, and it's going to be a good season for Kimi. And so, yeah, Kimi, most improved driver. Biggest letdown driver specifically. I think I talked about teams enough already. Biggest letdown is going to be Fernando Alonso. Aston they were nowhere last year. They haven't shown any ability to be able to develop a car throughout the season. And now they're having Honda reliability nonsense. So you're starting 15 steps behind everyone else. And so, yeah, my most disappointing driver of the season is going to be Fernando Alonso. It's really that simple, man. I'm looking really excited about this season. I hope I'm wrong on some of these things. I hope that Lewis proves me right in the fact that I still believe that he has it. I believe with the car underneath him that he feels confident with, you're going to see those flashes, and he's going to be right on the pace all over again. And so, Lewis, let's go, baby. Like, come on now, let's do this thing. Like, we're here. It's time. It's time. It's time to get number 8, man. Like, it's time to get number 8. It should be number 9, but we're not gonna. I'm healed. I'm almost healed. Shout out to Lil Durk. Free the voice, man. Yeah, man. It's gonna be a great year. I think this could be the best season that we've had in F1 since 2021. I think 2021 is fucking out of this world. I don't think that'll ever be replicated, but I think this could be a really awesome season, and I'm looking forward to it. Let's hope these cars aren't as bad as everyone thinks, including myself. Yeah, man, let me know what you guys think. Let me know your predictions, where you'd switch some guys that I predicted. And yeah, follow me on all the socials, man, at Naldo, NALDO __ F1. Instagram's the biggest one. TikTok, I'm on there too. X, I'm on there too. I just called it X. Ew. It's Twitter. It's Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, Naldo __ F1. Chat with me, man. Let's do this thing, bro. F1 2026 championship. We're here. I'm out. Peace.